everybody. Welcome back to Into the Veil. I'm Rachel, and it's great to have you back with me. We thought we would take the opportunity to show a little more on the rods. We've gotten a lot of emails and questions about how to use them, what else they can be used for, besides what I do, which most often is communicating with the people and certain energies. So we thought we would come back here to the mound. We saw at a distance a mylar balloon over here by this little waterway. Looks like a steady footpath here.
It's one of those random things that
Just doesn't
typically shows up all the time. I don't know which one of them, Junior or one of the others, has a fascination with it, but I think that's like the fourth mylar balloon that and they've all been blue or had blue on them.
First one we got was 4th of July, and so it's been steady since the 4th of July last year. I'm sure anything shiny catches their eye, but there's definitely something about mylar balloons with them. So, with that said, a lot of times, if you're out in the woods or forestry, you may even hesitate to go because you're afraid of getting turned around, not having your bearings about you, getting lost. And of course, a normal compass could work, but you can also utilize these if you are looking to find, portal energy, dimensional energy, and kind of explore the woods at more than one level. You can use these for a multitude of things, to include finding direction. And so for me, I would ask, which way is north? And it's kind of not directly behind me.
Well, turn just a little bit so they've got freedom to.
So a little more to my left.
Well, let me pull my phone out and turn the compass on. Give me 1 second.
Are we?
Pretty close. You're like maybe 2 degrees off.
And then there's always the question of there's north and there's true north.
Right.
Which is
but according to this, you're about 2 degrees off. But hey,
maybe true north is a couple degrees difference.
That would get you in the general direction, wouldn't it?
It would. So then, of course we can use the sun. We can use a lot of things for that. But certain times of day, like today, we have no sun. If you have a pet that runs off, and maybe you're struggling to locate where they've gone to, whether that's out in the woods, in your neighborhood, you can use them to focus on that pet. And as I think about ours, as I think about Rocket, it's pointing toward the house.
Right.
So then it's a matter of learning. Very briefly, I will show you when you get the rods, you would want them to delineate your yes. For me, that's this. And it can be as individual as you are. For most people, for whatever reason, this is a strong yes. If I ask for them to show me a no,
they'll go to the left usually.
They go to my right.
To your right, my left.
Behind my right shoulder.
My left.
I'm kind of standing at an angle, which isn't helping me. Show me no. There we go. So then, if you are looking for something, and I use them very often to locate lost items or things I've misplaced, and they automatically cross. Knowing my thought, knowing the train of thought that I'm in. Now when they're pointing, it's going to be in any variety of directions. And as they are honing in on an item or in the direction of it, very often they'll do this. And I'm doing everything in my power not to move short of breathing. And they will come to center. So when you are right on it, oftentimes it's going to do this, and then when you get to it, and I'm thinking of getting to it, they're going to cross.
I'm trying very hard at this moment to make myself energetically small, and that's something we'll show you in a few minutes.
So this is part of the channeling challenge for me, because you can also use the rods to gauge the health of someone's energy field. A lot of people that do Reiki work or work with chakras will use a pendulum, which dowsing is dowsing. You can use the rods also. So what you would want to do is, as you're focusing on that person, and I'm just checking my clearance here. Can you step back just a little bit for me?
Well, I think what we'll do for that is set the camera on the tripod, and then I'll just move back away from you.
But we'll show you how energy fields work. Part of the focus that I have to maintain is keeping my energy very locked in on, say, on Ku or specific trains of thought, because if Ken is standing in front of me, and I'm just going to give you a brief example, if I focus on his energy field, it causes the rods to literally go behind me.
Go wide open.
Wide open. And everybody has a different gauge on how expansive their field is. But with that said, focusing enables me to lock in on the thought and keep the rods focused energetically.
Most people at 6 to 8 feet, when they're away from you, the rods will be closed, and as they come closer, the rods will open up. If they've got a huge energy field, it can open up at a lengthy distance.
It can also be about how expansive they are as an individual. And so the more expansive we are, the larger that field becomes, and the more we can affect our environment. Likewise, the more we can be affected by our environment. So, just little points to bear in mind as you're messing around with this kind of work. Another thing that I would like to correct, and we've said it before, but I think it kind of must have not really settled. The information is not coming from 2 pieces of copper. The information is coming from your connection subconsciously to that ether, ether, whichever you prefer, to that broader knowing.
The informational consciousness.
And these are meant to help streamline that energy and give it placement, to give it direction, rather than just floating around up and about out of your hands, so to speak. It literally puts that energy in your hands and enables you, thank you, enables you to answer. So, traditionally, dowsing started in a variety of ways, but the most popular was back in the day. They used to take either a willow branch or a peach branch and douse for water. And when they met water, it would bow. It would bend toward the water. So with that said, you know, it works naturally with the elements best of all, anything elemental to include that ether space or ether space. And in that, if I were asking where I might find water,
It goes right to that water hole over there.
where the mylar balloon is, which is the closest water we have right at the moment. And it's going to take you to that closest source. I know of a lot of people that find pipelines with it, water lines, if they're going to dig and they need a target to avoid or to work with. If you are actively a part of search and rescue, finding a child or even an adult that might be missing, if you can get a clear enough thought and lock in on just that person, just that, whatever their energy is to your mind, then it will point at least in a starting direction. And if you follow that without getting distracted, it will continue to pursue. I use it sometimes to just ask if the people are close by. And it's not even messing around with yeses and nos, it's just pointing straight to.
Well, that area over there is where our Pina hangs out primarily, so that's where it's pointing to.
And I do feel her over there. I'm getting confirmation on that. I also feel that Junior isn't far, and they're telling me more leftward of our Pina, past that water, back in that corner, probably just watching. And I could go through the whole family and literally have the rods point to where they are directionally. And very often, with the boys, like, let's say Sobe, it's more of an angle this way. If I think about Davi, he's answering. Davi, where are you?
Maybe he's directly behind me, that's why they're wide open.
Either directly behind you or directly behind me. So we would have to, and then you would want to test that and see if you get the same response or a different response if you're standing at a different angle. He's right behind you.
That's what that is down my neck.
Yeah. And, you know, they're curious. So sometimes they are going to be right behind you. I asked Ken to do me a favor a couple of hours ago, and I asked him to bring some coin and just bury it somewhere back here by the mound. That's all I wanted to know, was that it was near the mound. And with that, I'm going to see if I can find it. So I'm thinking about his coins. And in my mind's eye, I am envisioning him burying these coins. Just tell me I want to go this way.
Well, let me grab my tools here.
Can I help?
Well, not if you're operating the rods. If you can just hand me the metal detector and to my free hand, we'll...
You are definitely a master.
All right.
Okay.
Carry on.
Gotta refocus. Coins. Where did Kenny bury the coins? So directionally, as they change, I change. So if they go a little more rightward, I go a little more rightward. And I'm just following that flow and feeling it. Of course. Can we get around?
don't know. Is it there?
Surface or bury them?
I told you I buried them.
Oh, then I don't know.
Well, the rods are crossing there. Do you want to take the camera so I can turn this thing on?
All right.
Can you see the monitor at all to see what you're looking at?
Yes.
Over the rods to give you a signal.
Okay.
Alright, you said they're up here.
Just right in front of you is where they crossed. Close. It was right there where your foot is where they started to cross, and that's where I stopped. So within inches.
See if I can find all my coins again.
Okay. I don't even know how many you brought.
There's another one. I put like 4 or 5 of them in here. Here's the quarter.
Very cool.
Nickel.
Well, hey, you even brought out the good stuff for me.
There's the helicopter.
There's a helicopter. What would the day be?
I think that's all I put in there. Double check it with the big detector. I still got a dime somewhere.
So I don't know which one I like more. He gets all these cool tools and I get my cool tool, and they're all fun.
Another dime that I'd put in there.
All right.
That should be it. That's it.
All right, good deal. So it was right there about where his right foot was that the rod started to cross. Had I been thinking, I would have made them literally pinpoint it. But all in all, pretty close. So we are going to set up the tripod, and I'm going to show you how it works, gauging someone's energy field. And I think it's good for all of us to know how our energy effectualizes our space and how much space effectualizes us.
Kind of like the experience of when a person walks into a room and everyone clears a path for them because they have a huge energetic field, and other people, they're invisible in a room full of people.
And they don't necessarily have to say anything, you know, off. They don't have to, they just can be felt. So we will get that done and be right back. So we're kind of doing this a little bit backwards for the point of showing you on camera. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk toward that log, and I have Ken right here. And as I walk toward him, the rod should begin to open if I'm focused on his energy field and how far out that meets me.
About 25 feet.
They're not closed yet. So at 30 feet they close.
30 feet, the tips come together.
Yes. So I'm going to start walking toward you. And I mean, first step, they start responding.
I'm larger than life, baby. Watch this. I'm going to go into hunter mode and make myself small.
Okay.
Closed up, didn't they?
It did. So I'm going to start coming toward you in hunter mode. If you can hold that for a minute and see how far they. Not a horrible distance, but
I could hit a deer with a slingshot that close. But you can manipulate your energy is the point that
exactly.
I'm trying to make.
You can be as big or as small as you need to be, choose to be. So if anyone tries to tell you you are not vast, know that you are. And all of nature is also. So I would
we tried this same thing on her a minute ago.
I keep my energy, unless I'm doing specific work, I keep my energy closer to me intentionally.
There it is, about 8 or 9 feet.
Which is healthier for me being empathic, and I have set my bar there. When I get into my other state, I would imagine it probably opens up quite a bit. Also, very briefly, I want to show you, we are in the process of, I asked Ken to make me a set of mini rods out of curiosity, because sometimes it's a handful out here in the woods. Yes. So this is something that can be stuck in the back pocket easily, or in a fanny pack or backpack, whatever you have. These are 20 a set.
Yeah, I think that's a fair price, 20 with shipping included.
Shipping and everything's included. Just enables something a little more mobile, or if you have a small space that you live in, something that you can use readily. seem to be working really well. No problems. Trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. I think that's it for now. We'll be following up with a session with Anku and talking about everything stirred up all of a sudden. Talking about dimensional barriers, plates, if you will, or where they meet and the different effects of that, how that affects our visual of the people. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you